Hello, soulmates. Welcome to the Honest Academy. My name is Justice. So, in this video, we're going to be learning how to make a smoked dress, right? So, here I have the fabrics I want to use. I have the front and the back put together. Then, because of the type of gown I'll be making, I have a zipper at the back, and that is why the back is 1 inch longer than the front. Okay, something is going to be attached at the lower part of it, and that's why I'm putting the 1 inch zipper allowance. If not, there is no need for zipper allowance. So from the front part, which is laid on the back, I marked 5 inches. This 5 inches is an allowance added to the main measurement so that after smoking the dress will still expand and fit the figure. So from the 5 inches, I'm going to be taking my actual measurement. First of all, it's an off-shoulder gown, so doing it this way, -4, which will serve as the depth of the neckline. So from -4, I'm going to be taking my vertical measurement, the bust length, the waist, the hip. I think the under bust was also used. Okay, the hip length, and then the length of the gown. It's a short gown that has an attachment. So after that, we're going to take the horizontal measurement starting from the 5 inches. So I'm going to be dividing the bust by 4. I'll divide the under bust by 4, the waist the same, and the hip the same, as you can see in the video. Okay, so I've marked the lines. I'm just showing you what I divided and how I marked. I'm also going to be adding a sewing allowance after this measurement. You can add sewing allowance of half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, or 1 inch. Okay, please, if you've not subscribed to this video, kindly do so. Now the next thing we're going to be getting is our armhole line and the armhole depth. So we're going to be using the shoulders, and we're going to be minusing something from the shoulders. The shoulder actually is 7.5 inches on fold. I minus 2.5 inches from it, and that gave me 5. So I'll be using 5 to mark as the width of the neckline, and from there the armhole depth is going to start. So to know the armhole depth, we still minus our 4 inches and then mark where the armhole is supposed to be. Armhole is about 8 inches or 8.5, but I made it a bit longer, given that it's a smoked dress. It will definitely come back smaller. So from there, I connected to the normal measurement. You can see the way it is. So my sewing allowance is not that much. I think it's half inch I added. So from there, I'm trimming off every other part that is not necessary. The armhole area. So once this is done, we are good to start sewing. I wanted to slit the back, but that will be done later. Okay. Now, before you start sewing, it is advisable that you turn your neckline. This is also part of the reason I had to deepen the neckline a bit, because the armhole a bit, because I will still fold the neckline, thereby shortening the length of the armhole. So it's advisable you fold your neckline on any other part that needs to be folded. This is the elastic thread we'll be using, right? You're going to buy as much, not do not too much, depending on what you're doing. Now, while reeling this elastic to your shuttle, make sure you don't draw it. Just carefully roll it over in a way that it will not be drawn. Okay, don't drag it, just roll it on the shuttle, on the bobbin rather, on the bobbin. So once you roll on the bobbin, don't make it too stuffy, don't make it too big. We're to fix it into the bobbin case. I wonder why my hand is not showing here. All right, we're to fix it into the bobbin case. But one thing I noticed is that you need to free the bobbin case, like that small tight thing that is on top. You need to loosen it so that the thread can actually pass through. So this is me sewing it. The main thread on top, as you can see, is our normal thread, while the elastic is under inside the bobbin and the bobbin case. So as you sew, don't drag it from the other side. Just make sure that your fabric is not squeezing. If you squeeze the fabric as you're sewing, it will definitely not be your measurement. Don't drag it that way. Just make sure that the front part, as the fabric is going, it's not folded. That's what I've come to realize. If you drag it, it will not gather for you. Okay, just give it a try. You can see the way it's going. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. So this is how I'm going to finish up every other part. Now back to the arm, the sleeve for our gown. We're still going to keep an allowance. Here I kept an allowance of 4 inches so that when I finish gathering, it will expand and meet to the person's measurements. I'm getting the length of my sleeve. Then from the 4 inches allowance that I added, I'm going to take the actual measurement of the person. So here I used 4 inches. I think 4 inches was a bit bigger, a bit bigger for the measurements. So all you could do is minus your upper bust from your round shoulder and then divide the the SS into 2 to get what you have as your off shoulder sleeve. So from the top of the off shoulder, I marked the depth of my armhole and I connected it, and the rest is on a straight line because it's going to be smoked. In our next post, in subsequent post, I'm going to elaborate more on how to cut off shoulder sleeves in such a way that it will be easy and simple to understand. So I'm just going to fold the upper and the lower parts to hem it and then smoke it and fix. You can see the way it is.